Hey, y'all, it's your favorite Unc. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to Nightcap YouTube channel so you never miss a single live stream or video of myself, Ocho, and Gil. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Noah, can you provide some context? There's this Time magazine story that came out that revealed that while you were negotiating your contract with Adidas, they offered you an invite to a shoe release for Anthony Edwards. And I think everybody's read the quote. Can you provide context for what transpired? I mean, we don't need to get into negotiations, but what transpired is what's being reported. How accurate is that?
So what was going on at the time? I was in negotiations for over a year with Adidas to get the contract. Them offering me, to go to Ants for shoe release had nothing to do with the contract. They just thought it would be cool that I would show up as one of their Adidas athletes. Unfortunately, they asked for it very late. They asked for it at probably about 2 weeks in advance, and I was already scheduled to walk in the Hugo Boss show in Milan, which was a day and a half before his shoe release. So at first we were trying to figure out ways that we can get there, and it was like, this isn't good. This isn't gonna work. There's no way that I'd be able to walk and then get on the flight and have energy enough to be able to go to this event, because it wasn't just a shoe release. They were also going to, have us go to a little baby concert, and we were going to be just signing autographs. It was going to be a lot. And I was already drained from, flying over, already doing the fashion shows, doing the walks, going to other events. I was already drained. I'm like, there's no way that I'd be able to physically do this.
Well, I know. I agree with you. Flying overseas, as in it's someone that's flown overseas and then come back, you're kind of jet lagged. But you probably should have left it as that. It's that the other stuff where you get into trouble, where people is picking apart what you said, is because, like, hold on, I'm the world champ and he's getting this, and you have the wherewithal, the forward thinking to see that he's going to be special. And why can't you guys see that with me?
Now, I will say, being very vulnerable in this moment, I felt very unheard at that moment with Adidas. I felt very unheard. And and to give an example, people do a lot of things. What do you do when you feel unheard? You try to shout louder.
Yes.
And I felt that I've had many conversations trying to shout, and it hadn't gotten through.
Right.
And unfortunately, that was one of my moments where I felt I had to shout to even get them to look my way. In that Time article.
I got you.
Because they asked me if I wanted to take it out. And I decided I was not going to. Because I had to stand on my decision at that moment. I felt that I had to shout to get even a conversation about what I wanted to happen or what was going on at that point to move forward. Could it be handled better?
I mean, that's
probably. Was there more ways to do it? Probably. But in that moment, I felt that I had taken so many steps in other ways that I had to shout at this moment.
Ocho, let me ask this one follow-up.
Yeah,
do you regret your decision not to have that removed from the article?
I don't believe so at the moment. This conversation could be had in a year and I could have a different answer. At this moment, I do not feel so. Because I still feel if I did not shout at that moment, I would not have had the preamble to, oh, he is serious. And when I said it at the Olympics, they knew it was still on my heart.
Wait, Joe.
No, I was good. I was good because you hit on what I was going to piggyback and ask as well.
Another question, Noah. In track and field, there have only been two men that's ever had a shoe: Michael Johnson and Usain Bolt. Two.
Yeah.
Michael Johnson had the world record in the 100 and the 200, and he don't know anything but gold medals. I think he's a four-time world champ in the 400, two-time world champ in the 200. He's a two-time champ in the 400, and he's a one-time champ in the 200. And I just say Usain Bolt. I don't need to say anything else. Why do you believe that you deserve to be in that category with those guys, looking at their accomplishments, not to say you're not done yet, but looking at their accomplishment, accomplishments, looking at yours, why did Noah Lyles believe he deserves a shoe?
The reason I believe it is twofold. One, we look at Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson he's a track guy through and through. That's all. He's track, and he loves track, and that's what he decided his lane was going to be. I don't feel that in his time period we had the social media, we had the marketing, the self-marketing to be able to push it forward. Of course, he had Nike, and Nike was doing very well, but they wanted to keep it. You know, I don't think that they really wanted to keep pushing it, and I don't know if Michael Johnson wanted to do the work or not to market it as well. And no, I don't know how much they had in their contract to keep that shoe alive. That's where I'm going to leave it with that. The time period wasn't right. With Usain Bolt,
okay,
the CEO that actually gave Bolt his shoe is now with Adidas, and I've had conversations. And I think Usain was very excited in the moment, and then he got excited about something else when it was time to do, the underground work, the marketing, the commercials, and stuff like that. And that scared a lot of companies, I think, in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Usain is Jamaican. The marketing in the US is different. I feel one of our in the US it turns out when it comes to marketing. Entertainment and marketing is the US's bread and butter. We know how to do that. That's just our thing. So now that I'm an American in a time period where self-marketing is very popular and it's very, it's strong. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody's looking at it. They want the brand. They want the identity. A person's identity is more marketable sometimes than a brand at times. And now we see them as brands.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I can do the work. I know that I can get the medals. But at the end of the day, I think that it comes down to, guys, you now have the title of the world's fastest man. What do you do with that title? You tell them, don't you want to have the shoes of the world's fastest man? Don't you want to put those shoes on your feet? I'm wearing the same shoes of the world's fastest man. It's gonna make me so fast. It's the same thing with Michael Jordan.
But the shoes that the world fastest man wears track spikes.
No, he only wears track spikes on the track, but he trains in tennis shoes. And when you see him out, he's in tennis shoes. And when people go out and run marathons, they wear tennis shoes. And when you're in the gym, you wear tennis shoes. Guess what?
Tennis
shoes. Everybody wears tennis shoes. And the only reason that you don't see more marketing for tennis shoes and individual runners is because they just haven't done it. But why are we saying just because it hasn't been done means it can't be done?
Yeah. I mean, if it was going to happen, the timing is now. The timing is now, especially while the stove is hot, as I'll call it. Right now, the stove is hot. You are the stove. And while it's hot, you take advantage of that. And there's always a market for everything, no matter what it is. Everything is marketable, especially when it has the right push and people behind it. So there's really no excuse on their end. And this is why we need certain individuals in positions of power to make these things and transitions a little bit easier. And it shouldn't have to be a fight. We have to yell and scream all the goddamn time to get shit done.